3.
Are we on the shot?
Yeah. Perfect.
I was wondering if you could tell me about something called Bearded Children.
That's niche. That is niche.
Hi there, my name's Christian Lee. I'm here for Earworm Digital. We're here with. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
I'm Dan.
I'm James, and we're Tender.
All right. And I know San Diego is the first day of the tour, correct?
It is, yeah, first show.
And I know you guys actually played here last year too, correct? Down in the Casbah.
Yeah, we played the Casbah. It was a great show. Really, really good.
I'm happy you guys are playing in San Diego.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah, it's great seeing you.
And I know you guys have a lot of tour dates, and luckily right now is the first one, so you guys, aren't burnt out or anything. But how do you guys, as the tour progresses, how do you guys prevent burnout though?
I don't think you do. I don't know. I guess you.
Luckily, we travel around in an RV, so there's a bed at the back that you can just go and just take a nap, even though you're bouncing up and down on the highway. But it's better than nothing.
That's true. So you guys all rotate, take turns in the back?
Yeah, try to. Yeah, it's just sleep as much as you can and stuff like that, I guess. But still have fun.
And first day, I see, right now we have a drink in front of us too.
Of course.
And so I was wondering, what do you guys usually request on your tour rider?
We drink a lot of gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic is always our go-to.
Classic,
first. Beers of course.
Mm-hmm.
We're not too crazy other than that. We used to have local, we asked for football shirts, or soccer shirts for you guys. We used to ask for that, but we never got it.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else really.
Just ends up being boring stuff.
Yeah.
Cheese.
We never get it either way. So.
Okay, and then so let's talk about your latest record too. And so Fear of Falling Asleep, great record by the way.
Thank
and
you.
I've noticed too, because your guy's name's Tender, and then I noticed from the first album too, it is Modern Addiction.
Yep.
All the songs were just one word, but now you guys kind of ventured out. Now it's no longer just scrabbling words, now it's just 2 or 3 words.
Yeah.
But I was wondering though, what was a personal change for you guys from that album to your second?
It became a bit more organic in terms of the not the writing process, but the production. We used a lot more. There was more guitars on there, and
more live drums rather than before. It was very electronic and not stripped back, but I guess kind of stripped back, and then we played. We're from guitar backgrounds, guitar band backgrounds, so we tried to sort of bring that into it a bit more, In terms of actual content. Lyrical content, they're not too dissimilar. It's still, very personal, but yeah.
Okay, and then I've noticed you guys collaborated with people I think, is it Clapton?
Yeah.
Clapton and Caspo.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, all of the songs you collaborate on, great by the way.
Thanks.
But I was wondering, how do you guys pick and choose who you want to collaborate with though?
I guess when people come to us and we didn't expect to sort of have anyone ask to have our vocals or something like that on the track. It was new to us, so we just try not to do as many do loads and loads of collaboration because it just sort of waters it down. But those guys came to us and asked us and showed us the songs. If we liked the songs and we felt like we could add something to it and add our flavour to the song, that's all we sort of needed. So we did those two. We did another one for this French guy called Suna, which is another one that we did, and that's what we've got out there.
Okay, and so I'm a big fan of your guys' music. I like how it's a little bit dark, a little bit moody. But a question for you personally, James, I want to know. I think it's a bit of a contrast from the last group you guys were in, New Desert Blues.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, what made you guys change from making rock music to just making dark electronic music?
The transition was we used to be in a so that band was a 6-piece band. Dan was in it too, and this sort of decision making and things like that, and making songs truly personally, it becomes it's quite hard to do when you're watering it down with everyone's ideas. It's quite hard to.
Your initial vision gets
you
taken away.
You sort of lose that a little bit. I mean, you're still really happy with the end product, but when we were sort of doing another record for that old band, we started just playing around, and I was writing some more songs on my own initially, and then I was living with Dan at the time, and we just decided to try something new where, you know, we didn't have to ask 6 different people's opinions on one song. And then from then, I guess the songs became sort of lyrically more personal because, you know, it's just, I didn't have to, you know, ask anyone else about lyrical content really. Dan was always pretty open about just letting me do that on my own. Yeah, and like, I mean the previous band as well, like the songs were all meant to be kind of like
they were more stories.
They're more like stories, sort of like almost fictional, if you know what I mean. And this was far more personal.
Yeah, I noticed too. Yeah, from the last band, a lot of the songs were named like after people or something.
Yeah,
right?
initially, yeah, for sure.
I think only for you guys, you only have like Nadir. That's basically just.
Yeah, it's.
I know it wasn't like meant to be like that.
Yeah, I mean, as well, Nadir is like we actually it used to be called something else, but we changed it, and Nadir as well is like, you know, the lowest point of the situation as well, and that's why that came about.
And so, what are like some inspirations for this group as well, for Tender?
Even though it's an electronic band, we listen to quite a lot of, harking back to the old New Desert Blues days, we listen to a lot of more like alternative bands as well. So things like The National or Tame Impala or
War on Drugs, things like that. Yeah, there's a lot of guitar bands. That's what we listened to even before this band. So yeah, it was kind of that, and then we'd listen to bands obviously like Jungle and Marabou State and love what they were doing, and that definitely influenced like the early days of this band for sure.
Okay, and I actually have some gifts for you guys too.
Oh, sick.
And I think this is also an influence on you guys, and this one is actually for you, James. I have a separate gift for you.
That's alright. Personal.
And it's actually, oops, this is wrong, a Justice album.
Oh, amazing! We love Justice. That's amazing. Thanks
Because
so
I
much.
figured, you know, you both are electronic duo.
It's one of my favourite bands I've ever seen live for sure. That's so incredible. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Incredible.
But is there anything you could say about, you know, what Justice means to you now for the band, their music?
What was the first? What was it? There's Across the Universe. Across the Universe. That one was.
that's in my top 5.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But now that was one of the first times I was at like a festival. The first time I saw them live, and it was during that period. I don't know, just that initially, because before the band, I used to get really into like just making electronic music on my own, and like fiddling around with like Reason and programs like that.
Yeah.
And Justice were totally like, I was just trying to be them for a long time, and I realised I was nowhere near good enough, so I gave up. But yeah, it's incredible.
I mean, you're good in your own right as well.
Yeah, I mean, but I've done it in a different way. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. And so I have a question for you too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if you could tell me about something called Bearded Children.
That's niche. That is niche. So when I was,
Research.
I went to university and studied comedy writing and performance, and I had to do a sketch show for like our final piece was a sketch show we had to put together, and that was the name of our little comedy troupe, essentially. It's not that good, but that's the name of it, Bearded Children.
Wow. I don't even know.
So
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever thought about doing any, maybe like, comedy sketches or any,
Not me, definitely not.
No, not at all.
or no interludes or nothing?
Sometimes you like write like he'll take like something we say and then he'll text a couple of his friends that like, and you're like anecdotes and things you'll like make a note of it for like a sitcom that you might someday write.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind writing some comedy at some point later in life, but at the moment I'm focusing on this.
That's good to hear. And I don't know about you guys, it's a little bit too hot for me, so I'm going to take off my sweatshirt.
Mouse rat.
And
Oh, sick! Yeah.
I actually have a gift for you, and it's a little bit more unconventional, but I think it's more practical.
Okay.
And it's actually a Parks and Rec shirt.
Oh my God,
Treat yourself.
Oh
That's
my
so
God,
good.
that's so
Because I
sick.
figured,
Yeah.
I think was it your birthday that was yesterday or 2 days
Yeah,
ago?
it was yesterday. Yeah.
And so consider this a birthday gift.
Thank
Wow,
you.
that's
I even have a
so
mouse rat
much.
thing on that too.
Amazing. We've got a mouse rat magnet on our fridge.
Oh my God, that's so good.
That's
Parks and
so
Rec is the
good.
best thing
Thank
in
you
the
very
world.
much.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Alright, and I think that's a good segue into, let's, talk about a little bit more lighter, a little bit more fun topics. And I heard the both of you, are you guys fans of wrestling?
I used to be a long
When I
time
was
ago.
young,
When I was younger, I was
yeah.
really into the Undertaker.
Mm.
He was my dude.
Specifically.
I liked and the Hardy Boys, of course. But
Oh, of course.
yeah.
Team Extreme.
yeah, sick.
Yeah, because I noticed on one of your Instagram photos here, I think you had I don't know, it was like a pendant or something.
Yeah,
of
that's
Undertaker?
because when I was like really young, I was super into the Undertaker, and like
Right.
I used to like dress up as him and stuff like that. Like
Oh
when I
my
was
God,
real young,
really?
and then like my good friends back home, they obviously were trying to rinse me about it a bit and take the mick, and they gave me a little Undertaker pin. Still got it somewhere.
And what about you? Were you a fan too?
When I was younger, yeah, like maybe when I was like 15, I think I was really into it. Yeah, there was a long period from like I used to get all the WWF or WWE like Raw and Attitude games and
SmackDown versus Raw.
Those were good games too, though.
Yeah, they only went in SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even had like a Royal Rumble one before that, like years ago, which had like Yokozuna on it and stuff like that.
Nintendo, Raw and Nintendo, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised to hear though, but I heard the UK, they actually have like a big wrestling scene there.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not familiar anymore.
It's quite budget stuff. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and then my last question for you guys, let's end it off on a fun one. And I was wondering if you guys were to replace yourselves in Tender with another musician or celebrity, do you have one in mind?
Wow. I mean, I'm taking Andy Dwyer. I'm taking Chris Pratt.
Ah,
He's mine.
Okay,
Shotgun.
I'm taking Chris D'Elia.
wow.
Comedian.
Like a band of Chris's, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, well thanks for taking time to do the interview.
Thanks so much.
But before we turn off the camera though, I'm gonna get out of frame, and as like, you know, kind of a thank you, you guys could just look in the camera. If there's anything you want to plug, anything you want to say to the fans, it's your time.
Hi guys, we got a new single called 6 in the Morning, which is out now, came out last week.
Yeah, on Spotify, all the Apple and all that. So yeah, go listen to it.
Thanks a lot.